Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Maureen Jacobs. I'm the director at the Chester Public Library. I'm also a member of the Orange County Library Association, which has organized today's forum, as well as forums throughout the county. Libraries have prided themselves as being neutral and safe places for all peoples and their opinions and backgrounds. So I thank you for joining us here today. We did invite both candidates from Orange County District 10, which covers here Chester and Warwick. Ms. Sue Bahren was able to join us today. The other candidates were not. So I welcome you, Sue. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen, for having us.
And just a quick note, the seat is currently held by Mr. John Vero. John is going to be retiring at the end of this year, so I just wanted to wish him the best in his future endeavors and thank him for his time of serving Orange County. I think he had 2 or 3 terms under him. So today's format will encompass 5 questions, which I gave to Sue as well as the other candidate ahead of time. We'll give them a couple minutes to answer, and that's pretty much it, unless you have any questions.
I do not. Thank you. I appreciate, obviously, I appreciate having the questions in advance. And it's very nice of the Library Association to do this for us because there has been no other forums throughout Orange County. So it's very nice that the legislative districts get to be represented in this way.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're doing it. We didn't see anybody else doing it in this kind of format. And this year, just a note to anybody who might be watching this, the entire legislative is up for re-election this year. So that's why it's very important to be doing this to make sure that incumbents as well as people running are given the opportunity to get their voices heard. So
thank you.
So with that, we'll open up to the first question, which is to please introduce yourself to the community, why you're running, what you hope to accomplish, and why should people vote for you, Sue?
So my name is Susan Bahren, as Maureen stated, and I am a lifelong resident of the village and town of Chester. I have served as the village mayor for the village of Chester, as well as a village trustee. I was first elected in 1988 as a village trustee, and I became mayor 13 years after that. And then for 6 years, I held the position as mayor. During that time, my full-time job was Democratic Election Commissioner for the county. I worked for the Board of Elections for 29 years, and for 26 of those years, I served as Commissioner of Elections. As many of you know who may be watching today, I am very involved in my community. I serve for 32 years in the Kiwanis Club of Chester, and I have served as a president and chair of many of the committees that Kiwanis has to offer. We fundraise and then we give money back to the community to help children throughout Chester and throughout the whole region. So that's a little bit about me. I am right. Thank you. I looked down at the question. I am running because I felt that the Democrats of the county were underserved at the legislative level. Currently, there are only 5 Democrats that are on the legislature in Orange County, and there are 18 Republicans. And the Democratic voice has not been heard enough at the table for the county legislature. There have been many times when I, as a department head, went to the legislature and felt very underserved by the group of people that were there. And I'm there to listen to the departments, and I'm there to find out what their real problems are and to investigate that, to make sure that they get the support and the things that they need to run an effective department. At the same time, holding down the taxes.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Our second question is, what pressing issues do you see in District 10? And if you're able to be specific in either what the issues are and possibly how you would help correct them.
So a couple of the things that I see that are pressing in District 10, one of them is the Route 17M corridor between Monroe all the way through to Middletown. It affects Chester, Monroe, and Blooming Grove and Goshen, obviously, and the outer part of Middletown because of its condition. It is an underserved transportation corridor that needs to be maintained more and needs to have better turn lanes, better signaling, all that kind of stuff. I plan on working with the state leaders to be able to make sure that 17M is taken care of in the manner that it should be. It is, as all of us know that live between Goshen, Chester, and Monroe, it is the route that one would take off of 17 or the Quickway or the future 86 in the event of an accident or slow traffic. And we just need to get that opened up more. The other issue that is very pressing for us in particularly Chester and the surrounding areas is affordable housing, because there are people that are not able to live in this community and make a salary, or they don't make a salary that can allow them to stay in this community. They either have to go to Sullivan County to live, or over to Pennsylvania, and then they come back to New York to live. So we have to work somehow to make sure that there are livable wages in between Chester, Goshen, Monroe, to make sure that people can afford to live here and participate here in our community, both economically and independently as volunteers or schools, however they would do it.
Okay.
Right. My biggest concern, one of my biggest concerns, Maureen, is Valley View nursing care facility and rehabilitation facility. I am very concerned that there is still, about 5 or 8 years ago, we went through the possibility that they were going to try to privatize Valley View. And, there were studies done. Myrna Chemnitz and Roxanne Donnery did studies and found out that the Valley View wasn't charging appropriately to Medicaid and Medicare to make sure that the funds were coming in. Now the funds are coming in appropriately to them, and they are viable on their own. So much so that I understand that just about every year for the past 3 or 4 years, the county executive has moved contingency funds out of Valley View into contingency funds at the county. So that's really not a way to do that business. You want to make sure that Valley View maintains their funding so that they can make sure that they can maintain their facility, make sure their heating, air conditioning, all of that is working properly, make sure the rooms are in a good enough shape for residents, and just make sure that the nursing staff and all of the people that work there are taken care of in the manner that they should be.
Yeah, those are good points.
Thanks.
So kind of going back to your first point on traffic, I think that's a nice little segue to the third question, because Orange County has been trying to attract businesses
Right.
larger with Legoland right here on the Chester Goshen border. But how would you attract the small businesses, and how would you help addressing that traffic volume that you mentioned earlier?
So again, my first inclination is to meet with the Orange County Chamber. Chester does not have a Chamber of Commerce. As you know, Chester has Kiwanis. They at one time had a Rotary, and they at one time had a small chamber, but they don't have a chamber. So I would address that with the Orange County Chamber and speak to those experts to see what their thoughts were for attracting small businesses. And then again, I would work with my contacts at the state level, with either DOT or the senators and assemblymen, to make sure that, we did get the necessary infrastructure changes for traffic congestion. That's the only way that I can see that it would prosper, by involving all of the necessary partners that would be needed to come to the table and discuss it. Now, I understand that I don't know how it went last night, but I understand that the Village of Chester spoke more again about their village comprehensive plan, their comprehensive planning plan. So I don't know what the results were. I think that they were going to vote on it last night. I haven't spoken to anyone who was at the meeting yet, but I hope to speak to someone to find out how that went, because that would require some rezoning and some realignment of how things are zoned and how things can be laid out.
Okay. So question number 4. We all want Orange County to grow and prosper. What is your approach to providing a prosperous enterprise and employment as well as affordable housing, which kind of sums up a lot of things you just said.
So right now we have a very viable industrial park in Chester, in both the village and in the town. I see constantly in the last 2 months, maybe you've seen them as well, signs from the industrial park trying to get people to work there, to hire all the, Pep Boys, Amscam, all of them are advertising on the highway to bring people in for jobs. And my thought when I read this question was, to work with the town and the village about ways to make sure that the zoning is, well, they are working on the zoning, but to enhance the draw that they have of businesses that may want to come to Chester. Now, they can also access the ability of the Orange County Partnership as well to try to draw larger businesses into the area. But I think we do very well with the industrial park. I think the industrial park is helpful. I think I don't know how much land there is to expand it. I know that there is some on the other side of Black Meadow Road, but hopefully, between the towns and the county and the partnership, we would be able to bring in more business. That business would then have to help with the infrastructure problems. They'd have to put some funding towards the infrastructure to make sure that the traffic could come in and go out at a better rate. I mean, I never thought in my life that I would see traffic backed up in the industrial park at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, all the way from the light by Lowe's, all the way around the corner, back down to, well, I was going to say Arrow Shirt. Now, wasn't that silly? All the way back down to Leone Lane. But that's prosperous as far as I can see, because that means that there are people coming into the community. They are working here. Those businesses are passing on tax dollars. And I find that to be very prosperous. People get very annoyed about the traffic being tied up, but with one, you always get the other.
And that traffic's on this side
and the traffic is on this side.
Yep, totally
Yes.
backed up.
Yes.
So it's on
Yes.
both sides.
I came from Sugarloaf 3 Saturdays ago. And I came down the hill by the light by UPS, And I couldn't believe that the light at Kings Highway was backed all the way up through the light at UPS.
Yep.
So, and that's a lot coming from Warwick, because people are here for leaf peeping and apple picking and pumpkins and, you know, fun, exciting activities. We have a lot of breweries around in this area. You know, Chester has 2 very nice breweries. There's breweries in the surrounding area. So all of that is going to bring more traffic. That also brings more economic prosperity to those locations and other locations. I've been at a couple of restaurants now where I've heard people talking at the table that they had been to Legoland, you know, that they're staying overnight at Legoland, and they looked up where they could go have dinner because I guess I've heard, I don't know, they didn't like the food at Legoland. I don't really know, but that, you know, so they've come out and gone to dinner, you know, so that's prosperous to us.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Warwick just had their Apple Fest, and then they had the Children's Book Festival, which the library over in Warwick has done for a number of years. So I agree with you. You know, there's a lot
Greenwood
of
Lake had a huge Oktoberfest this weekend. I heard you could hardly get near the place.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was very good. Right.
Okay, so we're kind of up to the last question, which is what would you accomplish as a representative for the county?
So I have the experience and the knowledge and the understanding and leadership qualities to be able to make sure that the county budget, along the budget that's presented by the county executive to the legislators, is a fair and equitable budget. And I'm really looking forward to trying to accomplish more equitable housing throughout the whole county and a better line of transportation for people to get to and from these jobs. The county could work harder on a busing system that works within the county so that people can get from one side of the county to the other at the times that they're needed to get to those jobs. Just like a commuting line would happen in, you know, going from here to New York City, you could have a commuting line around the county from the major cities into the localities that have the industrial parks and all of those agencies that would provide jobs for people. So I think working with the planning department to make sure that there is better transportation would be my number 1 priority.
Great.
Okay.
So that was the last question. We have another minute or two. We covered a lot with these 5 questions. We did try and make them as broad as possible to kind of hit as many things as we can. But if you would like a minute or two to maybe touch on something we didn't cover, or what, if you'd like to just any other final comments.
Okay, so thank you. So as the election commissioner, I have proven that I can work across the aisle because I helped both Democrats and Republicans in their quest for seeking office and for running for election. So I believe that I can meet people halfway and come to conclusions that are beneficial for all residents of the county. I have friendly relationships with a lot of the legislators who are there now, a lot of the department heads, and I feel that that I can work across the aisle to make sure that things are equitable throughout the county and that all the voices of the people of the county can be heard. I look forward to being able to serve on the legislature and to help my fellow legislators make Orange County the best county that it can be.
Wonderful. So before we say goodbye, I have a question I did not put on the list, a bonus question.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to put you on the spot. And
Okay.
if our other candidate was here, I would have done the same thing. Hopefully we'll get a
Okay.
chance to record just for him. But here's the question. Since the Orange County Libraries are the ones that organize this forum, the bonus question is, how many libraries are there in Orange County?
Oh, Maureen, I think I might know the answer to this because we used to have to, hello, sorry, my cat's saying hello. We used to provide lists to a lot of the counties at the Board of Elections.
You did.
So I know there are 18 villages. I know that there might be 17 libraries.
There are 17 libraries. Yes, there are. I'm impressed because when you started saying villages, I'm like, oh, not every village has one. And
no, I was trying to get my memory to boost.
Yep.
Okay, that was
Awesome.
good. All right.
So I thank you once again. And I'm just going to say at this time that early voting starts this Saturday.
That's
So you
correct.
should check the Orange County Board of Elections website to find out where you are. But I think most people in this area are going over to the Warwick Town Hall, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but you can go to any of the 7 locations. If you happen to be in Middletown or Newburgh and you decide that you want to go early vote, you can go to any of the locations for early voting. Because of the electronic age now, and the electronic poll books and on-demand ballot printing, you are able to go anywhere. The other thing that I'd like to just also add, being that you talked about the early voting, if people are unable to get out of their home even for early voting and have not yet obtained an absentee ballot application, they can have someone bring their signed absentee ballot application to the Board of Elections, and the Board of Elections will issue that person the ballot for the voter who needs the absentee ballot. So it is too late to do it by mail, but it can be done in person, and any voter can assign any other voter to pick up their ballot.
So someone who's homebound can send their child to pick it up on their behalf and bring
That's
it back
correct.
to sign off. Oh, that's
That's
good to know.
correct.
Thank
That's
you for
correct. Yep. Okay.
that. Okay, and then of course, Election Day is on November 2nd, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maureen, and we'll be in touch.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.